Hi, everyone. Sorry to interrupt your lunch, but we have Noelle here, and she is a fire education coordinator from Contra Costa County Fire Protection District. So she's here to talk to you about fire safety.
Good afternoon. Ooh, I gotta use my inside voice. That's loud. Ooh, boy. I'm Italian, y'all. I gotta talk low and keep it all the way out here, or else I'm gonna blow your eardrums out. How about you people in the back by the windows? Can you hear me okay? Can I get a yeet yeet? No, okay, good. I see your hands. Good job, good job. All right, folks. So I'm really here today to talk to you about these smothered pork chops I'm hearing about. I don't know. I hear they're really good. So I think you're in for a treat today. So I've been asked to come here to speak to you all about home fire safety this week. I will also be back next week to talk about fire extinguisher use and safety. And then the following Wednesday, I'll be back for the third and last time to talk about emergency preparedness. And that will entail having evacuation plans, go bags, and how to download and have emergency alerts on your phone so you can stay apprised of situations either before, during, or after any event. So you know where to go, where not to go, where to get resources, things like that. So if these topics are important to you, please come back and join us. Have a lovely lunch, and we look forward to having you. This is also going to be recorded, I understand. So it's going to be on your local, your television station? PC? TV, okay? All right, so with that, we're going to get started. Now, today, what we're going to talk about is home fire safety topics for in your home. These are going to be the few items we go over today. We're going to talk about having working smoke alarms, being safe in our kitchen with our cooking, electrical safety, closing a door between you and a fire and how that can give you extra time to help save your life, and having and practicing a home fire escape plan. If in fact you do have a fire in your home, you should know how to get out quickly. And I'm going to show you some videos and talk to you about some items that are going to help you learn how to do that. Because I'm going to tell you right now that if a smoke alarm goes off in your home in the middle of the night, and you wake up to that, you have a little less than 3 minutes, okay, to get out of that home, and you have about 30 seconds to make that decision. All right? It's very important. This video right here, if y'all could open and look up here, this is a video on how fast a fire spreads. This video is taken as an example. It shows a child getting ready for school. She's going to use a blow dryer, throw her pajamas on the bed, and as soon as the hair dryer ignites the pajamas on the bed, you'll see smoke in the right-hand corner, and a timer is going to start. And you're going to see how many minutes it takes for that small bedroom to go up in flames. Not only that, but they're going to show you some hazards throughout. You're going to see a disabled smoke alarm and other items, electrical issues. I want you to think about this if this was something in your home, and then we're going to move on to some more informational tips. So as you watch that video, you saw how quickly that fire started. The little girl used a blow dryer to get ready for school. She threw it on the bed. She threw her pajamas over it. Within a few seconds, fire happened. So some ladies at a table just asked me, how did that start so quickly? Fire only needs 3 things to live. It needs heat, oxygen, and the right amount of fuel. And fuel's anything. I'm not talking about oil and gasoline. It could be what you're wearing. It's the room. It's anything the fire can eat. So if we take away any one of those components, which we're going to talk about next week, how we suppress a fire and use an extinguisher, you get rid of fire and you kill it. Okay? That's the only thing. You can only take away one of those things and it dies. It's very important. One of the things they showed you in that video was the smoke alarm was disabled in the bedroom. The battery had gone low and they had pulled it out. So the smoke alarm was disengaged. It is highly important to have working smoke alarms in your homes. You should test them every month. Sorry, I'm blowing too hard. I'm trying to figure out the right space with this microphone. You should be testing them every month. It's very easy to test a smoke alarm. There's only 2 buttons on a smoke alarm. There's a test button that makes it beep back at you, and then there's a hush button that makes it quiet. So if you push a button and it doesn't make a noise, try the other button. If it doesn't beep at you, you may need some help. If you think you need help with your smoke alarms, call the fire district. We work with the Red Cross. We partner with the Red Cross in their Sound the Alarm program. We can get volunteers out to your home at your convenience, and you can schedule it, and we will replace smoke alarms for free. They'll replace batteries for free. If you have an alarm that's too close to the kitchen or bathroom and it's a nuisance, they'll move it. It's a great program. Completely free, in case you didn't hear that part. There is absolutely no reason why you cannot have and should not have working smoke alarms in your home. If you don't, or you think you need any help with them, please reach out to us, okay? We're here for you. Also, if you have smoke alarms in your home and they're any color other than stark white, they need to be replaced, okay? Smoke alarms only come in one color. Brilliant white. I didn't realize that either until I went to change my grandfather's, and he doesn't smoke, and his alarms were yellow. Because plastic tends to get that lovely shade of beige after a while. If you have beige alarms, call us. We need to help you get new ones, okay? All right. Cooking safety. Now, please understand that for the last 40 or 50 years, cooking is still the leading cause of home fires, and it's the leading cause of fatalities and injuries in home fires. Why is that? What do we do more in our homes than cook? Than sleep? We eat, right? You gotta eat. Not everybody wants to have Captain Crunch for dinner every night. Okay, so you gotta cook, but you need to be mindful of how you're cooking. Cooking accidents happen all the time. Guys, I do this all the time. I give these presentations every week, and I can go home, put something on the stove and start cooking. I hear a bump or something falls. I've done it myself. I walk away from the oven, I walk away from the stove, and I leave my cooking unattended. And that's how accidents happen. Whatever you need to do to remind yourself that you're cooking, turn the light on the hood on above your stove, set a timer. Everybody has cell phones, correct? All right, there's a little British lady in your phone named Siri. Tell her to set a timer for you. Do whatever you need to do to remind yourself that you're cooking, and no matter what you're doing when you're cooking, do not leave your cooking unattended, okay? Leading cause. Let's also keep our spaces clean of clutter, any kind of grease, things like that. Stand by your pan. It's not a song. I heard it in the back. I would sing for you, but I'm on television, and I'm not going to do that right now. We need to set timers, pay attention, even if you leave for a short time. Now, I know this sounds a little crazy. I grew up with my grandparents. My grandmother used to put a roast in the oven at like 180, and then we'd go into town and go shop and leave it for hours. Can't do that. Didn't realize how dangerous that was as a kid. Very dangerous. So we always need to stay with the cooking, be mindful no matter what we're doing, whether we're roasting, frying, grilling, sauteing, boiling. Let's be mindful of that. Burn prevention. Now, how many of you remember back in the day a grandparent or somebody having a grease fire, cooking on the stove, and grandma or somebody would throw salt or baking soda on it? Raise your hands. Anybody ever see that? A lot of hands. Right. Makes sense. Not safe. We had a gentleman do that a few years back. He's shaking baking soda over a grease fire, didn't realize his sleeves were over the flame. Shirt catches on fire, and he's got second and third degree burns all over his chest and neck. What could you do instead? What could you do instead? What did I hear? Cover it up. Put a lid on it. Keep the lid of the pan you're cooking with nearby. Or if you're too nervous to use that lid, how about a cookie sheet? You take a cookie sheet out, you have enough room to get away from it, and you can slide that cookie sheet right over the fire. Turn the stove off and let it cool down. Those are the nights that we're going to order pizza, okay? DoorDash. If I go home and I burn food, that's the universe telling me I'm not supposed to cook tonight. That's going to be a pizza night, all right? Make sure you're wearing short sleeves. Just keep them. It's all common sensey stuff that we don't normally think about, because let's be honest, how many people in here, raise your hands, have actually experienced a home fire? 3, 4. Out of this whole room, maybe 5. That's like maybe 1 in 10. It doesn't happen very often, so we don't think about it a lot. We don't think it's ever going to happen to us. Happens more than we know. We just don't hear about it. Those kitchen fires and the smaller fires that don't turn into large events, we don't hear about those on the news as much. We don't see those on the TV, so we don't think about it. But it is still the leading cause of home fires. So especially in the kitchen, please, let's be mindful about how we're cooking. Electrical fires, something else we need to be mindful of. Is there anything in your home that doesn't have to be charged these days? Your laptops, your cell phones, your TVs, your whatever. You got to plug all kinds of things in. When I was a kid, that's what our stuff looked like. Again, I don't know how I survived it. You have those surge strips. If there's 6 openings, 6 slots, you can use all 6. That's what it's made for. But we're not going to piggyback or daisy chain and have things look like this. You want the picture in the middle, okay? And if we have any cords where the insulation is cracked or peeling, let's get those replaced quickly, because that insulation is there to protect you, all right? Guess what's coming up? Holidays, okay? Christmas, Hanukkah, all these wonderful days where you're going to have your loved ones or your friends call you up and say, "What do you want for Christmas?" Well, let me ask you something. How many more slippers do you need? How many more mugs that say number 1 Nana or Papa do you need to dust around your house? How about this year when someone says, "What do I need for Christmas?" I'll tell you what I need. I need you to buy me some new extension cords and surge protectors because mine look terrible. I need you to help me change my smoke alarms. Put these people to good use. Instead of getting more stuff that you don't need, tell them, "Hey, I'll cook you dinner if you come over and do this. I'll bake you cookies. Hey, if you bake me cookies, I'll come over and help you." Not a problem. But let's put these people to good use. Now, for those of you that are living in single-family homes, or even if you're in apartments and you're dealing with laundry, everybody cleans the lint trap, right? Has anybody checked their dryer vent that goes to the outside? At least once a year, have somebody come out and help you, or you can do it if you can. Pull that dryer away from the wall. Let's check that vent that goes to the outside. That's also a large cause of home fires. People don't realize how flammable lint is. And that lint collects in that dryer vent that's leading to the outside. I've seen them where they're so packed, no air. You might think your dryer's going on the fritz and it's not working. "Oh, I gotta get a new dryer. It's not drying anything." Maybe it's not the dryer. Maybe the vent is just so packed with lint. You get what I'm saying? So, please check those dryer vents, very important. And smoking materials. Now, I know a lot of people don't smoke cigarettes anymore, and I'm not here to judge. There is no judgment in this zone, okay? But smoking materials are the second leading cause of home fires, believe it or not. Now, we're smoking different things these days sometimes. I heard the giggles back there. No judgment. So, Some people are smoking cannabis products for PTSD, anxiety, pain. They just need to sleep. Cancer patients use it a lot for appetite. But they also affect your cognitive ability to respond. They make you tired, they make you sleepy. They do what they're supposed to do. So if you're using these products, let's use them safely. Make sure they're out completely when you're done. Deep ashtrays, all that stuff. Just so all of you know, if you're worried about missing any notes from this presentation, if you want this presentation, I am going to be providing the slides from all 3 of my presentations to the folks that invited me here. Find one of these lovely people, give them your email address, and these are yours. This is not NASA. I am not coveting secrets, okay? I want this information in as many hands as possible. Share them with the people you love and care about. Share them with people you don't like. I don't care. Give them to as many people as possible. We want this information out there for your own safety. All right, candles. Look at those candles on the screen. Do they look pretty? They look all right to you guys? Not bad, huh? Every single one of those is battery operated. Every single one. Candles are wonderful. They're lovely. They give great ambiance, but battery candles can do the same thing. You can have scented ones. They have little flames that flicker. They have remote controls. You can dim them, raise them up, make them brighter. And guess what? They're a heck of a lot safer. The last thing you want is, I'll tell you a story. I had a friend with a big fluffy cat, big Maine Coon. Big fluffy cat's walking along the armrest of the couch, and she had this big, beautiful Yankee candle her parents had just given her for Christmas. And the cat's big, fluffy tail was right over that candle flame. Next thing we know, we have a flaming tail and a cat streaking around the house, right? We had to shoot it with an extinguisher under the bed. Cat's okay. Cat was okay. Little singed, but all right. Candle accidents happen really easy and really quickly, especially if you got pets around. I want to make this clear for everybody. Do you see a badge on my shirt? No, just my logo. I'm not an enforcer. I am not here to tell you what you have to do. I'm an educator. So my job is to come here, and all I'm doing is I got a big silver platter of all these different ideas and tips and tricks and different behaviors that you can use to reduce your fire risk in your home. And you have a choice. This is America. You're free. You can flick off all the things that you don't like and keep the things you do like. If you like candles, great. Keep them. All I ask is that you keep them safely. Make sense? I don't want you to think I'm here to bag on you or to harp on you and tell you, you got to do this and you got to do that. I just want to show you different ways to be safer and lower your risk. This is a chance for you to ask yourself, what is my acceptable level of risk? And it's different for all of us. So I want that question in your head when I'm speaking to you about smoke alarms and all these different things you can do. What's your acceptable level of risk? Space heaters, it's getting cold. Anybody use space heaters at home? I mean, they got the great safety features, right? So if they fall down, they turn off, but they're still very hot in the front. If you're going to use them, let's use them safely. Have a circle of safety around them, a good 3 feet. Don't drape any socks over them. This is not for drying your clothes, all right? Keep all the fuel or things that can burn away from the space heater. So if it does fall, or you don't want it to come in contact with something that can be fuel. Oxygen, please use to the manufacturer's instructions. Whatever the oxygen people tell you to do what they tell you to do. The last thing I want you to do is be like my grandmother and smoking a cigarette while you're on oxygen, okay? I know, some of you out there look like you're gangster enough to do it, but please don't. Not safe. Carbon monoxide. A lot of us don't all have electric in our homes. Some of us still have natural gas heating things. Carbon monoxide is still, after 40, 50 years, the leading poison killer in the United States because you can't hear it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it, you can't see it. Silent killer is what they call it. We lost a few Marines to this a few years ago. They were at a train station. It was cold outside, so they were waiting in their car for the train to go home. And the car had a modified exhaust system. And while they were running the heater, the exhaust was pumping carbon monoxide back into the car. They fell asleep and died. That's what happens. When you're getting carbon monoxide poisoning, you start feeling like this. Guys, this is me on a Monday driving to work. Headache, nausea, drowsiness, right? If you're ever somewhere home visiting a friend and everybody in the room starts to feel like this, I want you to get up, call 911 and go outside. There could be carbon monoxide taking place in that home that's causing you to feel like this. You need to get the fire department out there, PG&E comes out there, and we'll get it checked out and make sure you have carbon monoxide detectors, okay? They're very easy to find. You can get them at any hardware store. Unfortunately, the fire department does not supply those, neither does Red Cross, but I can give you help in finding where to get them. All right, now this one, I'm not gonna lie. This blew me away when I first came to the fire district. So for years now, we've been going to schools and talking to kids about what do you do if there's a fire? And the messages were pretty much always the same. Call 911 and stop, drop, and roll and yada, yada, yada. Well, then we start going into schools and we're asking the kids as a follow-up, well, what do you do if there's a fire? And they yell, stop, drop, and roll. That's not what you do if there's a fire. That's only what you do if your clothes are on fire, right? So we had to come up with some new ways to teach kids. We want them to be safe, but we want them to get out and stay away from the fire. Please know, it's not the fire that we're worried about. Sure, fire will kill somebody. It's the smoke that's going to get you first. It's the smoke we're worried about. It's the smoke you need to keep yourself safe from to give you time to survive the fire. And one of the ways you can do this, besides just running away from it, is you can close a door between you and a fire. Now, let me explain this a little bit, and then I'm going to show you a video. I could talk about this till I'm blue in the face, and it won't make as much sense as if I just show you the video. But when you're in a home or an apartment and there's a fire, normally if your exit is not blocked by fire or smoke, you're going to get out, correctly? Right? You're going to leave, go outside, call 911, get away from it. But what if your exit is blocked? What if you can't get out and you're trapped? How are you going to survive that? Well, this item of closing a door between you and a fire can give you valuable time to stay away from that smoke, to survive that fire longer, to give our crews more time to get to you. That being said, please watch this video, and I will talk to you just briefly about it afterwards, but this speaks volumes way better than I could.
Oh my God, that is insane.
In the event of a fire, who here thinks that you're safer sleeping with the doors open?
I keep them open because I was a mom for so long.
My kid's room is 2 doors down from mine.
Always open.
I'm not all that confident they would stop anything anyway. Harold, hey. Ben. Ben, nice to meet you.
Harold, have a seat.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
Hello. I'm right here.
Chris, how are you?
Great.
As you think about fire safety, what keeps you up at night?
Yeah, I'm not too concerned.
I probably don't think about a fire threat as much as I should, because I do forget to turn things off often.
Have you ever been through one?
A fire? No.
We told you that you'd be coming here today for discussion, but what we didn't tell you is that there is also a demonstration that we want to show you. Sound good? I want to introduce you to Steve, the director of the UL Firefighter Safety Research Institute. I'll let Steve take it away.
Welcome. My job is to lead a team of people that study how fire grows and spreads so we can keep you safe. Here at the Delaware County Emergency Services Training Center, we essentially turn this place into a laboratory. We've got several structures around here that we build to simulate where you live. And one of those structures is right here behind me. What I want you to do is I want to take you inside here, and I want you to see how this looks like your home. And then once we get you outside, we're gonna go ahead and recreate what would happen if there was a fire in this structure right here. Look pretty normal? Yeah, got some furnishings. You'll notice the difference down here as we walk down. This bedroom door will be closed, and the one at the end of the hall will be open. And what I want you to do is pay attention to the comparison of the two of those and think about you and your family trying to survive this fire. All right, we just hit the button, we have ignition.
Oh boy, there she goes. Oh man, that is scary.
It's scary, right?
Bang.
Look, we have smoke coming out over here already.
Smoke's coming out.
What a lot of people don't realize is that the furnishings that are in our homes today are made of synthetic materials. So they burn so much faster than your old natural cotton-filled furnishings used to be. The statistics that we've seen through our research is in about 40 years ago, you had about 17 minutes to get out of your house after the smoke alarm sounded. Now you have less than 3 minutes.
Holy crap. See, this is the things that we were. Oh my God. Whoa. Can you feel that?
How can you survive that?
Seriously, that is insane.
All right, go ahead, knock it down. All right, as you remember, closed door on the left, open door on the right. And you can see the dramatic difference between the two with the simple closed door.
Impressive.
We want people to be as prepared as possible and understand the importance and how little time you have and what that simple barrier can provide to you and your family should you have a fire. I want you guys to throw some hard hats on and some safety glasses and at least poke your heads in the windows, or you can even walk in the hallway if you want.
Give me a word or phrase to describe what you just saw.
Anxiety.
Frightening.
Terrifying.
I really didn't expect anything like this.
I'll ask you one last time. In the event of a fire, are you safer sleeping with the doors open or the doors closed?
Without a doubt, the door closed.
Definitely with the doors closed, and from now on, the doors will be shut at night.
Definitely closed.
Closed.
Definitely closed. And I'm surprised by it.
It's always great to be able to get the message out when we can take our research and get it out into the community to change behavior with the message of close before you doze. It feels great, and hopefully we can save lives.
If there was one bit of advice that you could give friends or family today, what would it be?
Close before you doze.
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 The key fire safety messages we want people to have are, one, have working smoke alarms in every level of your home, inside and outside every sleeping room. We want everybody to have an escape plan. Should you have a fire, you should know how to get out quickly. And if you can't get out quickly, having a closed door between you and where that fire is critical to your survival.
So you saw how that works, right? It's such a simple thing, and I never thought about it. I never knew that. And I know some of you live in smaller places, and closing the door at night might be an issue. I understand it. So if you don't or you can't, okay, I'm willing to work with you on that, as long as you understand that if there is a fire, you do know that you can close that door. So here's what you would do. If you're in your, say, apartment, or you're in your home, and your only exits out are blocked by fire and smoke, and you can't get out, you go back to the furthest bedroom of the house, hopefully with your cell phone in your hand, because we've all got it usually attached to us, so hopefully you've got it with you. Grab it if you don't. Close the door between you and whatever fire is there. If there's a crack at the bottom, sure, throw some pillows or blankets down by that crack to block the smoke. If you have the wherewithal to wet those things, fine. But if you're walking around with a walker, or I'm not expecting you to carry wet, heavy down blankets and stuff. You're going to end up falling over and hurt yourself. Don't do that. Just throw whatever you can to block that smoke. Call 911. Let our dispatchers know where you are in the home. You give us your name, your address, where you're at, and stand by the window and wait. Okay? If the smoke starts to come in, you want to get low because that's where the clean air is. But just go stand by the window. I don't want you to open the window. Not because I'm worried about some backdraft issue or your room's going to blow up because you introduced oxygen. I don't know where that fire is and where it spread to. And right now, the room you're in is the only safe space you have. So the last thing I want you to do is open up the window and introduce smoke from the outside of the house that could be outside into your safe space. The whole point is to stay away from this smoke to give us time to get to you. And then we'll get you out, okay? Make sense? So you have options. Sometimes you can't always get out. So you've got to know that there's other tips and other tricks and tools to help you survive that fire long enough for us to get to you and provide rescue. This is a very quick video. It's going to go fast. I did not make this video. You blame FEMA, okay? But it's basically telling you how to have 2 ways out. Now, I am the mother of a 22-year-old college student. She just graduated. We have had a rule ever since she was young and started going and getting older and going out to concerts and music festivals. I don't know where she came from. She's this hippie, bohemian, music festival-loving kid, and I'm this tomboy that wears jeans and T-shirts all the time. So the rule is, when she goes somewhere, I have to get pictures. Now, she's 22 years old, and she still does this. Why, you ask? I pay the cell phone bill. There's one way to get things done, right? She wants a phone, she's going to do what I need. But in all reality, in all honesty, it's just a deal we've had. So when she gets to the venue, I always get a picture. And it's her and her, I'll get that in a minute. It's her and her girlfriends, and I get the lips because they're at the venue. So I know they arrived safely. Then they get into the venue, and they go up to the front stage, and I get another picture. They're all there. I know where they're located in the venue. The next 2 pictures I get are of emergency exits. Nothing more, nothing less. That's her way of telling me, I'm aware of my surroundings, Mom. I've got situational awareness. That's it. And my next message to her through text is have fun, make good decisions. Let me know if you need anything. Enjoy. Have a great time. You guys are actively living. You're here, you go to movies, you go to restaurants, you visit family, friends. When you go out places, do you ever look to see where the exits are? You ever been to a movie theater and just wondered, how do I get out of here if things go sideways? And I'm not always talking about fire. People are doing a lot of crazy stuff these days, right? Anytime you go somewhere now, first thing I want you to do is say, where are the exits in this place? I always sit near the exit because I want to be the first one out. The other thing that would be good for you to do is to look up. When I first started at the fire district, the captain who was in charge of me said, when you start going into buildings, start looking up. What am I looking for? Sprinklers. If you see sprinklers in a place you're at, you just lowered your fire risk by about 50%. Because they're going to do their job. They're going to suppress the fire probably before our crews even get here. That's a good thing to have. When I dropped my daughter off at college, that's the first thing I did. I looked up. She had sprinklers, she had smoke alarms in and outside of her dorm room, and her room was right near the exit. I gleamed, my smile was big, and she looked at me and she goes, Mom, you're such a nerd. I know, because she knew what I was thinking is, oh, my kid's safe. That's what I was thinking. So, that being said, I'm going to pick up my clicker. I'm going to walk over to this little speaker so he doesn't have to. I'll hold it this time for you. Oh, you got it? Okay. And we're going to watch this very quick video about having 2 ways out. We got a little bit more to go through. We're almost done. And you get to not have to listen to me anymore, but we're almost there.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Fire Administration. Have 2 ways out. When fire strikes, deadly smoke can fill your home within minutes. That's why the USFA wants you to plan and practice home fire drills. Draw a map of each level of your home showing all doors and windows. Discuss the map with everyone who lives with you. Practice your home fire drill at least twice a year. Make sure all doors and windows that lead outside open easily. Push the smoke alarm button to start the drill. Try feeling your way in the dark or with your eyes closed. Have at least 2 ways out of every room. If your first way out is blocked by fire or smoke, you can use your second way out. If there is smoke, get low and go. Crawl quickly under the smoke to your nearest exit. Close doors behind you and gather at a pre-planned outside meeting place where first responders can see you. Call 911. Remember, get out and stay out. Never go back inside for people, pets, or things. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
See, it went fast. Now, I want to share something. Somebody came up to me while the videos were going on, and they mentioned to me that they were in a home fire, and they lost everything. And this person said to me, I learned real fast, stuff is not important. Okay? She goes, things don't matter. Stuff doesn't matter. Life matters. She grabbed her checkbook and her banking stuff and ran out. Now, when we get to emergency preparedness, I'm going to talk to you about being a little bit more prepared than that, and that's okay, but she did the right thing. She's right. We do not go back inside. People, pets, or things, leave that stuff. Now, that's a hard ask if you're a mom or a parent or anybody that cares about someone. Please don't. We hear so many horror stories of that happening. Remember, it's the smoke. And we're going to, I don't know if you heard it during the Close Before You Doze video. There's a reason why we need to worry about the smoke, folks. Real quick, I'm going to sidebar. We're going to come back to having 2 ways out and escape plans, but I want to touch on this. So 40, 50 years ago, if a smoke alarm went off in your house in the middle of the night, you had 17 minutes to evacuate, roughly. Now you have less than 3. Why is that? Stuff. I heard it. I heard synthetic. I heard it out there. So my grandparents' house, like probably yours, all the furniture was walnut, cedar, oak, right? Real natural materials. The couches were wool filled with cotton fibers. Those natural things, they smolder, they burn slower. Now, what do we have in our homes? Lots of synthetic materials, lots of plastics, and all that stuff does nothing but off-gas toxic fumes. So you're breathing all that in. The data shows us that 1 or 2 good inhales of that can make you incapacitated, knock you out, could possibly be fatal. So we need to be very mindful about this smoke issue. That's why I'm pressing so hard on the figure out how you get away from that smoke. Either you get out or you're getting low and you're blocking it away from you. You got to survive that part and give us time to get to you. And part of that is knowing how to get out, having a fire escape plan for your home, knowing 2 ways out of every place you're in. How many exits are in this place right now? Count them. At least 3. Yeah. Always be aware of that stuff. Whether you're visiting somewhere, you go on vacation, you're at a friend's house, ask them, hey, just in the event that there's some kind of emergency, is there a meeting place we're supposed to set up at? Like, how are you leaving? How are you getting out? Should I go out this door? Is that door locked? You go to sleep at night, you want to know how, if you're not familiar with that place, you want to know how to get out quickly. Do this with the people in your home if you have people that live with you. You got families that you care about, tell them to do this. Draw a map of the entire house and mark on that map where every window and door is. And are they usable? Do they open easily? Are they blocked by furniture? Can you use them? This is the stuff you want to be aware of. Planning gives you control. If you plan this stuff and you know what you're going to do, you have control of your situation, you have more calm. And then when there is an emergency, you're in control of it, and you have more calm when you're dealing with it. There we go again. I'm just reiterating. I'm just muscle memory. I'm just going to keep showing you pictures of the same stuff to drive this message home because it's so important. Other items to consider. Please make sure your street numbers on your homes are visibly marked so we can see them from the street. We want our crews to be able to find you quick and fast, okay? If you've got young children, people with mobility issues, if there's somebody in your home that's going to need assistance, if you need assistance, now's the time to find out who's doing what, who has what job, who's who in the zoo, right? Everybody can have a job. My nephews have jobs. Everybody's responsible for grabbing something, Their job is to grab their little brother and take him outside, right? Windows and doors. Now, I don't see a lot of security bars anymore, but that doesn't mean I've seen every house in Contra Costa County. And this is very important. Make sure if you've got bars on windows that they've got emergency release levers and that those levers work. I was at a fire extinguisher training for Costco for their employee safety week. And I gave this training, and afterwards the girl that asked me to come in came in after and said, "Can I talk to you privately for a minute?" I said, "Sure," and she shut the door and she just started crying. And I was trying to, go through my brain of, gosh, what did I say that upset her? And I said, "Are you all right? Sit down, talk to me." And she goes, "No, it's just that everything you said today is so true." She goes, "I just hope people listen to you." She goes, "I went through this." She goes, "I lost 9 members of my family in one night because none of this stuff was heated." Now, I did some Googling because I couldn't believe the story. I was like, this is so tragic. Her family, it's still the most tragic fire in the history of the city of East Palo Alto. That fire and those deaths of her family members forced the state to create legislation to create those emergency releases so those bars can open. Her grandmother's house was in not a very nice neighborhood. They had bars on all the windows at the lower floor of the house. Because it was crime-ridden, the grandmother had nailed the back door shut. Yeah. They had one way out and one way in, and it was blocked by fire and smoke, big fire. 9 members. She was supposed to be at her grandma's that night, and her mom kept her home to braid and wash her hair. 9 members, 5 adults, 4 children, gone. It was so hot in that fire that when you read the articles about it, the firefighters had to crawl on their stomachs to look for the people because when they stood up, their helmets would start to melt. That's how hot it got. All of this stuff sounds like common sensey and yeah, right? I hear that a lot, but we don't think about it enough. So please, give your email to these folks, get these slides, share them with people. I always tell everybody, I joke, this makes great bathroom reading. Instead of playing games on your phone, read this. Or if you're tired and you can't sleep one night, read my slides. But they're very important slides. And I want you to take them seriously and take them home with you. You guys were taught what to do if you wake up and there's a fire and your door's shut, what you're supposed to do. You know how to feel a door to see if it's warm or cool. If it's warm, we're not going out, right? If you wake up and let's say you close your bedroom door at night, and your smoke alarms go off. You don't want to open the door right away. You want to look first. You want to feel it. Feel the door, not the door handle. We don't want to burn our hand. Feel the door. If the door's cool and it doesn't feel hot, do a little sneaky peek and take a little quick peek. Is your exit blocked by fire or smoke? If it's not, we're getting out. If our exit is blocked by fire or smoke, we shut that door back. Throw some stuff down at that crack, and we're going straight to a window, and we're calling 911. But be mindful of how to do that. Now, I'm recapping. I'm pretty much almost done with this presentation, but I'm happy to take questions, answer as much as I can. First of all, I don't want you trying to fight the fire. It's not your job, and you don't have to. People ask me all the time, how do I stay safe from fire? And my usual answer is, and any firefighter will tell you, we just want you to get out. Just get away from it. It's like, what's the only way you can't get pregnant? Abstinence, right? I want you to be abstinent from fire. That's the only way. You don't want it to affect you. So please don't try and fight this stuff. We're going to talk about this next week when we talk about fire extinguisher use and safety and how we deal with cooking fires and things. But for now, you're not a firefighter. You don't have PPEs. You don't have oxygen tanks and masks. Why would you? Heed the smoke alarms. Know how to get out quickly. Call 911. Get us there. We are not stopping to gather personal stuff. When we talk on week 3 about emergency preparedness, we're going to talk about how to prepare our things. How to have go bags. How to be prepared. Have stuff that we care about ready to go. We're going to get out by using our escape plan that we practiced with our family because we did this because we're really, really smart people, huh? Nod your head. There. Good job. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, staying low is going to be hard. We could all get down on the ground, but it's going to take me at least 20 minutes to get back up, and it's not going to be pretty. How about you? I heard you. Thank you. Right, it's not easy to get low. Do the best you can. If you need to, grab a cloth, put it over your mouth, so you can block that. You do the best you can. Nothing's 100%. I will never tell you that all this stuff that I'm telling you right now is 100% going to save you. I don't know if it will, but I know 100% that if you do some of these things, you're going to reduce your risk. And you're going to reduce your risk for any kind of fatalities and injuries if you're planning and you know what you're going to do, right? Close the door on your way out. For those of you that live in apartments or multifamily residential buildings, if you have a fire in your unit, close the door behind you as you leave. Why, Noelle? Because we don't want that smoke to go back out in the hallway and infect the rest of your neighbors. Okay? So if you're getting away from a fire, your home, your apartment, it doesn't matter. Shut the door. Okay? Leave that fire inside. And if you're trapped again, we're going to close all the doors between us and the fire, and we're going to call 911 and tell that dispatcher exactly where we are. That's my spiel. It's basic stuff, but it's the stuff we don't always think about. And that's why as many times as I possibly can, I'm coming to talk to you folks. Why just you? I talk to everybody. Now, just so you know, we talk to people from 2 years old all the way up to 92 years old. But I focus a lot of my education on the age group of 60 and up. Because the data and the statistics tell us that the age group of 60 and up are the least prepared for any disaster or any emergency. And you're also the most vulnerable to fatalities and injuries in these emergencies and disasters. And nobody's talking enough about it. So muscle memory, if I got to come here every year and say the same thing over and over, guess what? I've done it. I go to places, I've been going to the same place in Walnut Creek for 5 years. Every time I go, the same lady's there, and every time she tells me she learned something new. So whatever you need, we're here for you. Any questions, any help, please reach out. We're here for you. Please stay safe. Come back next week, and let's talk about fire extinguisher use and safety. I'm also going to talk about fire blankets next week. Okay? We're going to go over the pros and cons of those fire blankets that are getting marketed to you like crazy. All right? With that, please enjoy your smothered pork chops. I hear the food's fantastic. Thank you, Senior Center Pinole. Thank you, all you lovely people. And you guys have a great week, okay?